Welcome to the 21st episode of Master Mike's Wrestling Paradise. I'm your host, Master Mike Ambrose. And I want to start off the show with reviews of the wrestling shows this past week so far. Raw, was a good show. It was 3 hours. There's a lot of long matches and segments. Some of those matches were good. Some were too long. Nothing particularly horrible. Takeaways were Liv Morgan becoming the new number one contender for the Raw Women's title. So, of course, it's held by Becky Lynch. And she defeated Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, Carmella, and Queen Zelina. Oddly enough, all 5 women are going to be representing Team Raw in the Survivor Series in a few weeks. So good for Liv. I think Liv's another person that has a lot of potential to be she's very popular. She has a lot of potential to be a top star in wrestling. Another great match I thought was Big E versus Chad Gable. Big E, of course, W champion. And, he's right now he's feuding with Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens. But I thought he had a really good match with Chad Gable, who I think is underutilized. But it looks like they're starting to utilize him. He's had more show his personality off. Maybe give him a few wins against some, I don't say lower level, but like mid-level talent. So elevate him up higher. He's had 2 great matches in a row with him and Big E. And last week before that with Finn Balor. So hopefully, he will get more chance of the show his talents, which he has a lot of them. Him and Otis are a good team, but I think Chad Gable could be a solo guy. Maybe in the United States title scene. We'll see what goes from there. NXT 2.0 has, the WarGames coming up on December 5th. So right now, I can tell the women's side. It looks like it's going to be Toxic Attraction, which is Mandy Rose, NXT Women's Champion, Gigi Dolan, Jason Dean, NXT Tag Teachers, team up with Dakota Kai against Io Shirai, Raquel Gonzalez, and looks like Casey Catanzaro and Kaden Carter, who are a tag team. So if we do 4-4, that's the lineup it looks like it's going to be. Also, the main event was really good. I thought really great, actually, great action. Carmelo Hayes from Boston, hometown guy. I think he's got a lot of potential to be a top star in the business, without question. Against Pete Dunne, who's obviously a great worker, is great talent, as we all know. And they had a great match. Ended where Hayes was distracted by Johnny Gargano under the ring, because Dexter Loomis was at ringside, and they were feuding for a while there. Looks like it'll be a good three with Hayes, Dunne, and Gargano. And Gargano's contract is actually up, and so is Kyle O'Reilly's. Their contracts are going to be up, I think, next month, I believe. So, and it looks like Kyle O'Reilly's teaming up with this guy, Von Wagner, who's the son of Bo Beverly of the Beverly Brothers. Real name Wayne Bloom. His real name's Cal Bloom, but he's called Von Wagner. Big guy. He's played football for the UCF, University of Central Florida. And, he's been the assistant for a year or so, 2 years. And he's teaming up with Kyle O'Reilly. It looks like they're going to be feuding with Imperium. If they don't win that title, there's a chance Kyle O'Reilly won't resign. I think he's a great talent. I don't know if they see him as a main event guy. And, we don't know how they're going. Because the new thing with NXT, too, was they're developing stars for the main roster. It's not like before, it was just like a third brand. And they just had their own traveling circus with, upward side. That was the one thing. Not that they weren't developing stars, because they were, but it just seemed like they were stuck in a little bit. They have, over the years they were, so far NXT, I think, let me excuse this, I think NXT has developed a lot of good talent for the main roster. I know, some of the ones like the Adam Cole who went to AEW, and some of the guys like Gargano and Ciampa still there. But for the most part, they developed people. You had Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, won women's titles at WrestleMania. You've got Matt Riddle, you've got Damian Priest. You got Matt Riddle, Damian Priest. So you've got quite a few there in the last couple of years or so that have done well on the main roster and will continue to do well, obviously. So I think NXT tour, they're going to start to develop more talent that can be stars on the main roster. Like Braun Breaker's got a lot of potential. We all know he's going to be a star. Tony D'Angelo is very interesting. He could be a superstar, I think. I think a guy like Joe Gacy could be a very good top-level heel with his creepy gimmick, and Harlan, who's like his big sidekick there. Formerly named Parker Brewer, but he was a former football player, big guy. He changed his look because he was looking a little bit towards Lesnar, and you don't want that. But he's got a lot of potential. You got the Creed brothers, who are a good tag team down there in NXT 2.0, so I think they got a lot of good talent for the future. I don't think people should worry about it. And the women's division is stacked at NXT, their women's division is totally stacked. Obviously, they haven't mentioned Toxic Attraction. Io Shirai, you got obviously Raquel. I think Io and Raquel could be called up the main roster. You got Dakota Kai there. You got a whole smorgasbord of future women's titles. You got Kaylee Ray, who looks like she's going to be in the women's title scene. So you got a lot of stacked talent there, and it's a lot of women that haven't even been brought up on TV yet. You got and also Indy Hartwell and a product, good team. So you got a lot of good talent there. I don't think that people should complain too much. I think sometimes a lot of people online complain too much just for the sake of complaining. I don't know why they do it. AEW last night, the main takeaway was, of course, the Omega and Page buildup. Also, Omega and Page, I thought was good, well done. They did a gig at the end where Omega and Page signed the contract. Omega walks off, and then Don Callis, in disguise, hits Page on the back with a camera, and then Omega, writes his name in blood when he signs the contract, so... They're gonna go. I think that's so they're going to all in on that one. I think it's time for Adam Page to win the title. Hey, they gotta win. They 2-year build. I think it's time for Page to finally win the AEW World Title, and we'll go from there. One more thing. There was a match between Pac and Dax Harwood of FTR, and it was great. One of the best matches I've seen all year. So it was a great match. So other than that, I think we saw a little stuff. What's been going on in wrestling. We saw SmackDown on Friday, and I know I'm always pushing up, but I hope to have a new show by Saturday up. And we'll see. There's a lot of wrestling coming up this week. I mean, we got the Full Gear. New Japan has a show in San Diego. We got this. We got that MLW doing stuff. So there's a lot of stuff going on in the wrestling business right now. So good time to be a fan, whatever company you like. I watch anything as long as it's a good show. And then sometimes I don't particularly understand what's going on. I don't understand why some people have to be so tribalistic. I'll give you an example. I said, people are making a big deal CM Punk, Bryan Danielson, so I have no problem with. They have their fans, and I'm not knocking them. I respect what they've done in the past. But going forward, you got one guy that's 43, one guy that's 40. They've had injuries, so it's like you got to build for the future. And I said Mandy Rose, because Mandy Rose doing a good job in Talk to Attraction. Has reinvented herself, her look and stuff. They say just started here, but I think she's done real well all around. She's good on the mic now. She's talking well. She's a good talker. She's had personality. She's always shown glimpses of being a superstar. Now I think she's finally going to make that top level, eventually sooner than later. I said Mandy Rose has more potential than CM Punk, Bryan Danielson, which if you think about it, Mandy Rose is a decade younger than those two. Even more so with maybe Punk, so she does have more potential than them. And people like blocking me. Some of these AEW fans, not all, but some, they just take it way too seriously, I believe, at times. And, it's not good. Just enjoy what you like and don't jump on anything when somebody says it. Everybody has differing opinions. It doesn't matter. It's entertainment. It's all subjective. It's like Belts with his 5-star racism. It's his opinion. You don't have to agree with everything. Watch what you want. Some people, I wasn't the biggest Hogan fan, but I respected what he done. Yeah, I'm not going to, granted, we took whatever has happened with him in the last few years, but I wasn't the biggest fan of his stuff, but, I'm not going to knock what he did. Drew more money is almost as much, more than anybody. I like Flair, Austin. Like I said, my Mount Rush was Flair, Austin, Savage, and Jericho. And I'll watch them in any match. I'm not going to, suck up to any, but say, oh, this match is great. We all have our own choices of wrestlers that we like to watch. So I am my type. It's all subjective. If Dave Best wants to give the Young Bucks 5 stars, let him do. I don't care because I'm not a big Young Bucks fan. I think they are completely overrated and just, they kind of bring down. I think they brought down Omega because I thought Omega was great for him, but he changed out the Bucks too much. It makes him look off. And I hope Adam Cole doesn't go all in, acting like them, because, I thought Cole would have been great in WWE if he had stayed, and we'll never know now because he went to AEW, but, the Bucks just don't do it for me. Oh, by the way, tag team match at Full Gear, Lucha Bros, FTR, my 2 favorite tag teams going after the AEW titles. FTR, obviously, the AAA tag team champions as well, so it should be a great match. I'm a fan of those. Those are real tag teams, by the way. Not acting like a bunch of cosplayers here. And I'm not sounding like Jim Cornette. There's a lot of things I disagree with Jim Cornette on, but I just don't agree. I'm not a big Bucks fan. So, also MJF Darby Allin, which would be another great match, I think. 2 guys that are going to be the future of the part of the future of the company. If AEW wants to continue, you got to keep making those guys into top names. All right. I get going now. It's 4:30. It's dark. It's getting dark out because if you live in the Northeast, with daylight saving time, it gets dark between 4:30 and 5. So It's like the night gets longer now. The days get shorter now, so have a good night. Bye-bye.